So it's the end of turn 6, halfway through the game. If we go to all the way up to the 12th turn, I think that's going to be likely because global tension is still sitting at 0. On 8 or 9 on the die roll from now on, if we stay where we are at our level of UN commitment, it will go up 1. We need it not to go at 1 in the sense that Seoul has been taken. Everything south of that is in UN hands. That gives us 22 victory points a turn. So that would bring us up, adding to our 68 there, that will bring us up to a marginal UN victory. Now, if we go up to global tension level 1, that will be -5 victory points each turn. So that's going to be -30. Which will bring us down into a... This is one thing I wish was marked on the map, but another thing I wish was marked on the map was the victory points. That would bring us to the North Korean marginal victory. So essentially, if we stay at this position, having retaken Seoul, and basically the North Koreans being above the 38th parallel, and global tension does not rise, that's a UN victory. Now we've got 6 more turns, so the chances are global tension is going to rise once or twice. If it rises twice, we're going to be getting -10 victory points each turn. So if that happens, we're going to have to compensate by taking more of North Korea, but we will have to do that without any more forces. We've got some more coming on, but without raising up the level of intervention, rules of engagement, or the mobilization. So it's tough, and the communists have come in. So limited intervention. We have 6 divisions coming down here, 6 coming down here. They could go here. They could join these, and then 2 peeled off there to try and join up. So Wonsan has been fortified heavily. That port is now eminently attractive to the UN. The UN beachhead here has abandoned Pyongyang. They abandoned fairly quickly. They withdrew back to this line as soon as the Chinese intervention occurred. Now that's one thing the game can't simulate, is that the Chinese are coming. Obviously the Americans didn't know until they hit them. This game, the best it can do with that is that the first Chinese communist attack is double strength. But that's the only sort of effect of the surprise in the Chinese intervention. So I think what that means is if global tension goes up 1, we're going to have to retake Pyongyang or take Wonsan, and that was... The UN should have taken it instead of here, because they can draw supplies through these ports, but Wonsan is behind these riverlines, so for it's more defendable. It's even a bit closer to Seoul there, so it was a mistake to try and think they could sort of extend their reach out to here. It would have been a lot better through here, through the difficult terrain. Chinese would have had a chance to get to them, but they lost their chance. North Koreans quickly left the regiment, came as reinforcement, division came as reinforcement and fortified. They've got another fortification here, so there's mutual fortifications there. What we have left here is one division here with armour assets. Now that attempted to break out, didn't manage it, so it's a bit isolated. And these 2 here, although fortified, they're a bit isolated because of the fortifications. One of them actually fought off an attack, but they will be sort of whittled down. It's using up resources. You need to get rid of them quickly so that they can come and defend against massive incursion here. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like I say, if the UN can stay as is, they're going to get, and they're lucky on the global tension die rolls, they're going to have a win. If they're unlucky on the global tension die rolls, they're going to go for, it's going to be well, it depends when that is, but it could be, essentially it would be a draw or a North Korean victory, marginal victory. But then if the Chinese retake some ground, it's going to be even worse for the UN. So again, it's my UN plays much better this game, but all 4 of the games, 2 of those were just scenarios. But I haven't done so well with the UN. I understand. I watched Cullendale's videos on this, and I seem to remember he said he thinks it's balanced in favour of the UN. So it'd be interesting. Anyone could sort of proffer some comments on what I could do to give some bonus to the UN, because all of these divisions look quite frightening. I mean, I think we don't have a river on this side of Seoul. We'd have to put a line around here, and in time they could kind of move. We could sort of guard here, but you see there's a gap here. But with enough forces on, a bend in the river, they could muster 3 divisions against 1. And, well, no, actually, it depends on how many forces we have in the line. We might be 3 against 3, but it's not pretty, because now they have more divisions. Not as strong as the UN, but they have more divisions, so they're able to cover a bigger area. So next will be game turn 7, where we have some regiments and some brigades coming in and assets. But that's it, no more divisions. There's one we withdrew, we evacuated by amphibious evacuation, but it's a half strength division there. That's just kind of like, not quite an ace, but a jack up the sleeve, shall we say. Ready to offer amphibious assault here. Perhaps here, though that's not good. I'm cursing that we didn't take Wonsan, because we would have supplies coming in here. However, then the Chinese would just kind of move around and cut it there. As it is, UN depots here. And the actually I can remove that now. Now there's Chinese intervention, we don't have to worry about depots for the next 2 turns for the North Koreans. They don't have to worry about supply in terms of combat commitment. So they're not going to be at half or 1.5 or double strength. They're just going to be at standard strength in combat, which is nice to have that guaranteed. You can't get extra punch. You know where you sit. So that's it. Briefly taken city of Namcheonjom is soon going to be retaken. Pyongyang is back in communist hands. Were the North Korean forces communist? I forget. I started watching a documentary on Vietnam, so these things are getting a bit muddled in my mind. I guess that they were pretty much like in Vietnam. They were perhaps nationalist communists rather than die-hard communists. Anyway, that's by the by. You'll know better than me. So, end of turn 6, halfway through.